I don't recognize that
I
one.
don't either.
Just made it up.
Just said, how do I feel right now?
Pretty somber.
I always feel somber, man. Always feel somber.
Existence is suffering.
Existence is suffering, but it's okay. Because there's more suffering. So you might as well get used to it, Richard.
Buckle up.
Buckle up and do the bootstraps that everybody likes to say nowadays.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Great Measures. My name is Richard. This is Judson.
Great measures.
We haven't done Avenged Sevenfold in quite a while.
Too.
It's been a while, probably like 6 months or more.
I doubt it's been that long.
It's been a long time. It's been a few months. I will give you just a little bit about this, and we're going to go back to earlier Avenged Sevenfold, which I have discussed as my favorite Avenged Sevenfold. Song is called Chapter 4.
Okay.
That's all I'll give you.
What? Wait a minute. You just said, what
Yeah.
did you just give me that you don't normally?
It's earlier Avenged Sevenfold.
No, but you said I'm going to give you a little more.
Yeah, then I've been giving you. I've just been giving you a band and a song title.
What did you just give me other than that?
The era of the band that it was from.
Early?
The earlier version
Times
of Avenged
that you
Sevenfold.
liked.
Yeah.
Jeez. I guess technically maybe you're
I
right.
fed you a little more. Let's go. This one might be a little different.
Huh?
This one might be a little different.
I doubt it.
Yeah, probably not. All right, this is Avenged Sevenfold, Chapter 4.
You don't have to hear chapter 1, 2, and 3 for this to
Nope.
make sense.
Absolutely not.
Well, continuity is not something there. Whatever.
It'll make sense.
Okay, proceed, Richard. So they like to do the same kind of stuff. It's in D minor, Richard. D minor.
D minor.
Then they do that other thing where they. Oh, whoop. Oh, that jazz.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this song about brothers, one of them killing each other? Is this in the Bible?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's Cain and Abel.
Chapter 4.
Mm-hmm.
The 11 verses in chapter 4. Of one brother slaying another
Yeah.
over some petty crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you want to read? What do you want?
I'll just give you a little bit of background. Okay. So the album was called Waking the Fallen, came out in 2003. On the song, particularly, the song's lyrics are inspired by the 4th chapter of the book of Genesis in the Bible, specifically the story of Cain and Abel. The narrative of the song reflects the murder of Abel by Cain, focusing on themes of vengeance, murder, and the consequences of sin. The band's name, Avenged Sevenfold, was taken from that as well. Genesis chapter 4, verse 15, where God says that anyone killing Cain would suffer vengeance sevenfold.
Yeah. Interesting.
I'm impressed. Like, that's the first time you've ever heard that song. You can't really understand all the lyrics.
No, he says killing his brother. And he says some other stuff. Like, there's a line, and that story goes on for 11 verses, which is interesting. That's all of that information can be dictated in such a small text.
Yeah.
But there's some people would argue that it wasn't the killing of his brother that was the quote-unquote sin. That it was the idea that he wasn't his brother's keeper. He wasn't supposed to be. That's where he went wrong.
Okay.
Some traditional Jewish mystic people will say. I've seen or read that they contend. It's an interesting story. I find biblical things interesting from a literary standpoint, and a metaphorical standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
There's an interesting thing there where he says, I said where he says, but in the Bible, where Cain kills him, and then kills Abel, and then he's just hanging out, and God comes, or what some now are saying, an Anunnaki being, whatever. Go talk to Billy Carson about it. Comes and says, I hear your brother's blood calling to me from the ground. So cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Where is your brother? Am I my brother's keeper? Yep. You're done. You're out of here. Go over there to that land and have families with those people. who aren't supposed to be there because there's only these people that are alive on the earth. Whatever. Who cares? But yeah, it's an interesting story. I mean, and he's just singing about killing his brother. Is he just illuminating the story, or is he speaking about himself? I mean, if their band is named that, then they're taking on the personification of Cain in the sense of they're the murderers.
I mean, it's talking about that. It's talking about, divine punishment, all the above. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, it's self-explanatory if you were able to.
Well, just killing brother and the garden and things like that.
Yeah.
And I know with the band, we talked about with the bands. We had talked about what the name of the band is. But if you kill somebody, and then you're not supposed to kill them, and then there's going to be things that are you're going to be punished sevenfold for such killing. How? If you kill somebody, unless you're a cat, you can't be killed more than once.
I don't know, unless it's the way you die. How much you suffer on the way out.
Yeah, well.
Musically, I mean, obviously you were able to interpret it on the piano there after that listen. Like, what?
Yeah, Avenged Sevenfold has characteristics of that.
That song in particular, the dual harmonizing guitars, like that is, it's just.
Yeah, the guitar player is a madman. Obviously, we all know that. What's his name?
Oh my God, you put me on the spot.
It's not the Sinister dude, right?
Yeah, Sinister Gates and Zachy Vengeance. Those are the two guitarists.
Yeah, the Sinister guys.
Yeah, he's a monster. Yeah, he's a monster.
They have certain markers. People, reggae is reggae. That means, when I say that means there's a formula to things. If you play reggae, it's reggae all the time. You can do a little, obviously different. If you're not playing reggae, then you're not boxed in as much. But they play in G minor, they play in D minor a lot. The songs that we've done, at least. Maybe there was that King song was in A minor. Or maybe that was in D minor. They just like that. They like B flat, F. They kind of have a formula that they follow, which I think is good. I'm not down on them for it. I think that's necessary in order to have any kind of musical identity.
Do the vocals sound any different?
No. I mean, they weren't as annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's why I like this out. I mean, I don't remember.
I shouldn't say they weren't as annoying. They didn't annoy me as much.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
They may not have, it's maybe not annoying to everybody.
Sure.
And hopefully not to him, because that would be a tough life,
It'd be a difficult life to live.
Yeah, I hate my own voice. I'm annoying when I don't want to hear this anymore.
This album in particular, there's another song that comes before this one on the album called Unholy Confessions. It's probably the biggest song on this album. It's definitely the biggest song on this album.
All confessions are unholy. That's why you're confessing.
This was like my introduction, I guess, or it wasn't the introduction, but it was one of the introductions into harsher vocal stylings for me.
The other song. The song we're
Well, this whole album really. Yeah, this whole album really. It's got the harsh screaming, but it's got enough melody to it as well, and the catchy choruses that that's part of their formula as well, as they can write a damn hook for sure.
Sure. I don't hate this band at all.
Yeah.
I think that they teeter-totter on the mainstream
Yeah, for sure.
thing sometimes.
This album was probably they signed a big record deal after this one. I think the next album they released was City of Evil. And if you had only heard this one and the one before this one was called Sounding of the Seventh Trumpet, if you had only, which that was their only two pieces of work that they had, like full-length albums that they had put out at that time or ever. But then you have this, or I can only speak for myself, but I had this preconceived idea of what they were and what they were going to be. And then they come out with City of Evil, and I was just like, the worst thing that I'd ever heard in my life, because I had such high expectations on what was coming, and they changed up. I think he had some vocal issues. I think he messed up some vocal cords or something.
That's tough as the vocalist in a band.
Yeah, I think it was in between those two albums, but they came out with City of Evil, and I remember it like my youngest brother was a huge fan of this band too, and I want to say he bought the album, brought it home, put it in the CD player, and we both sat there and listened to it together and just died inside.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I mean, it's awesome because y'all were doing the thing, like intently listening to something, letting it affect you.
Yeah. And
it's not awesome that it made you die. I mean, that is an awesome part of it. You know what I'm saying? The act.
I can go back and listen now and appreciate it for what it is. But at that time, I had certain expectations because they changed their sound pretty significantly, you know.
You can appreciate it for what it is. But what it is crap, is what you're saying.
In my mind, it was, yes.
I understand.
But they blew up, you know. That was another thing, too. I couldn't fit. They weren't this little band I could fit in my back pocket anymore either.
Yeah,
it's
just one of those things, those things in life, you know, where you start to look at the world and go, this is crap, and then they blow up on it.
Yeah.
It's like, this is not right.
Yeah. Yeah.
How can this be?
Like I said, they signed, I don't remember which label, they signed with a massive label, and it was a huge, huge record deal. Based on their two previous pieces of work, you know.
Yeah, how does that work? Based on this, let's make some crap.
Yeah. But it was so, like,
Trick everybody.
You know, the way I found this band, and I don't remember, it may have been like a Guitar World magazine, or it was something like, I think it was Guitar World, actually. It was the two guitarists on the cover, and I loved their aesthetic, and I bought the magazine strictly based on seeing those two guys on the cover of this magazine. It may not have been the cover, but they had a big write-up in them in the which I bought those magazines regularly. I think I'm misremembering that, but I flipped to it, and they've got one whole page is their picture. It's just the two guitar players, and it's talking about this album. And I go and listen to it. I don't know, downloaded it illegally or something, you know.
Criminal.
And just immediately fell in love with what I heard. And then I think it's 2 years later, City of Evil came out. And it's just so much anticipation, especially for me and my brother. And we sit down and we're like, just jacked.
And there's still nothing that you like on that album to this day?
Nah.
No. It hadn't aged well. Or you haven't aged with it?
I haven't aged well with it, yeah, that's for sure.
I do like that they use the biblical motifs. There's a wealth of inspiration of storytelling.
Yeah.
Storytelling elements that are in the Bible that you can steal. What was it Picasso said? A bad artist copies others. A good artist steals from them.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say, kids, is steal from the Bible. It's okay. With your creative output. But I mean, Avenged Sevenfold is also pretty blatant with their biblical influences. Be a little more subtle, kids. Possibly. But yeah, I mean, this wasn't a bad experience. Again, now that I know more about the guitar player and how good he is, I'm really focused on him.
Yeah.
And maybe the lyrics were just kind of filtering in because I'm able to understand the harsher stuff a little more.
Yeah.
Or I'm just looking for key words, you know? Trying to also, I mean, I didn't know that was what the song was about, but there were just certain markers that you put them all together. And you say you don't have to know chapters 1, 2, and 3 to know what's going on in 4.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And I know the Bible.
You do. Anything else?
Man, just want you to know how grateful I am that you showed me this song.
It was my
Took
pleasure.
the time out of your day to show me some Avenged Sevenfold material.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for watching, everybody. We are Great Measures. My name is Richard. This is Judson. That was chapter 4 by
Great Measures.
Avenged Sevenfold from 2003's Waking the Fallen. Have a wonderful day, everybody.